What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Wednesday, April 20th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter, @Josh Engleman. Let me know in the comments section who your favorite plays are, and then go sign up at No House Advantage using the promo code Awesemo. Get yourself $25 on your first deposit. We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Zach LaVine, Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, James Harden, and Fred VanVleet. That might be the most loaded 6 through 10 I've ever had. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? Time to find out. In first at number 5, if he plays, that would be Gary Trent, shooting guard, small forward eligibility, 5,300, projected for 27. The goal is 32, and he is in the optimal lineup 32% of the time. I'm giving him 33 minutes. He's a 0.8 fantasy point per minute guy in this spot. He could certainly play more. I just have to feel like he was sick. That's, he's just not sick any longer. I think he's just going to play like he normally does. 21% usage, 16 points. Look, it's basically all points and steals. 16 points, 3 boards, and 2 assists, but 1.5 steals is legitimate on FanDuel, especially in a playoff setting, because he is the type of guy that can get 4, 5, 6 steals in a game. A big time pace down spot, but they are back in Toronto. They're going to Philly going to be without Thibault, so should make things a little bit easier on the defensive end. Ultimately, we just need to find out, is Gary Trent playing? In at number 4, we've got Chris Middleton. He's shooting guard, small forward eligible, 6,800, projected for 40. The goal is 41. He's in the optimal lineup 36% of the time. These guys are playing big minutes, and you don't get matchups much better than the Chicago Bulls. 38 minutes for Middleton, 1.05 fantasy points per minute. 25% usage, 22 points, 6 boards, 6 assists. It's just a very solid stat line. Stock and a half. It's a bad defense, very bad for the playoffs, if we're being perfectly honest. It's pace neutral, which is good enough for me. I just like the idea of going to Middleton. If he gets cooking, he could have a monster day in the mid-range against this Bulls team. In at number 3, if you're looking for value, I don't think there's a lot of options, so you got to go to Precious Achiuwa, power forward center eligible, 4,200, projected for 25. The goal is 25, and he's in the optimal lineup 37% of the time. 29 minutes for Achiuwa. That's basically what he's been playing for the past 2 games, and I think that continues. 0.9 fantasy points per minute. Obviously not the best matchup in the world against Joel Embiid, but there aren't a lot of places to pay down today, and there are a ton of places to pay up. So 17% usage, 10 points, 8.5 boards, an assist, stock and a half. The fact that you can put Precious in at power forward is the key factor here. I don't think he'd be in the top 10 otherwise. That flexibility allows you to do a little bit more. In at number 2, we've got Alex Caruso, point guard, shooting guard eligible, 4,400, projected for 24. The goal is 26. He's in the optimal lineup 40% of the time. Both he and Achiuwa are sort of the primary paydown options because they're going to get 30 minutes. 0.8 fantasy points per minute here for Caruso. The only reason Caruso really ranks ahead of Achiuwa is positionality. We just have more, it's easier to get to a paydown guard than it is to a paydown power forward. 13% usage for Caruso. Here's an underwhelming stat line. 8 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, 2 stocks. Now, it is a massive pace up spot for Chicago, but they are 10-point dogs. You're just going to need this one to be mildly competitive. And Caruso kind of just needs to touch most of the stat categories. You're not getting a 25-point game out of Caruso, and if you do, you definitely needed him. But, if you can get 10, 5, and 5, and maybe 2 or 3 stocks, that's all you're going to be needing on a day like today. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter. Let me know in the comments who your favorite plays are, and then go sign up at No House Advantage using promo code Awesemo. And finally, the number 1 contender for today is Jrue Holiday, point guard, shooting guard eligible, 7,400, projected for 41. The goal's 44. He's in the optimal lineup 44% of the time. 38 minutes for Jrue, 1.1 fantasy points per minute. Great matchup against Chicago. If they had Lonzo, it wouldn't be as fun, but they don't. So 22% usage for Jrue, 19 points, 7.5 assists, and 5.5 rebounds, plus 2.3 stocks. You get point guard, you get shooting guard. For some reason, he's in the mid 7s, even though he's going to play 38 minutes in a competitive game, maybe even more. If you're going anywhere today, the easiest place for you to go is Jrue Holiday. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Wednesday, April 20th. DraftKings and Yahoo versions of this video are around here somewhere, so check them out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Win some money. We are back again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.